bed and began to leap and to jump and to walk. I tell you, he'd been there for 38 years, but upon the command of God through Peter, he got up. That same God is alive today. If you're down, get up, and he will make the way for you.
You've been listening to The Thought for Today with Reverend Wilbur Daniel.
She is blind. She works at a prestigious eye research institute built and funded by the world's largest service organization, Lions Clubs International. Doctors and researchers here look for answers that will lead to better treatment and prevention of eye diseases. This is just one of many eye research clinics sponsored by the Lions, a gift of hope that may bring the gift of sight. The Lions, taking pride in a healthy community. Write the Lions, Oak Brook, Illinois.
You're watching Fox Television in Chicago. WFLD-TV, Channel 32. Esta, Samana, produced by the Public Affairs Department of WFLD-TV. Now here's your host, Carmelo Melendez.
Felicidades. Bienvenidos. Coming up, we'll examine the results of a study that analyzed the dramatic population changes in Chicago's Hispanic communities. Also, we'll profile an organization called HOLA, based at Loyola University in Chicago. And most of us have a poinsettia or a Christmas cactus for the holidays. During this broadcast, we'll give you some tips on how to take care of those plants and perhaps have them for the next holidays. Finally, instead of throwing away your Christmas tree, why not recycle it? We'll tell you about a major effort to recycle Christmas trees here in Chicago. Stay with us because we're going to get started in a moment.
You know it as a Disney classic.
We've got the Mars.
The silly professor who just puttied around is back. And the whole town's gone topsy-turvy over what's in the palm of his hand.
Flubber.
Flubber.
Now, in color, this movie's really got more bounce to the ounce.
Nothing to it, Mr. Hawk.
It's Fred McMurray as the absent-minded professor.
Monday night at 7 on Movie 32.
To every empty nester who still feels they've got more love to give, and to every couple who still has love to share, this offer is for you. One free kid. Because what you can do for a kid is priceless. Just call 1-800-624-KIDS. With an offer like this, they won't be hanging around long.
Latino Perspectives for 1990, New Numbers, New Leverage, is the title of a study by the Latino Institute, which analyzed the dramatic population changes in Chicago Hispanic communities. During these next few moments, we're going to examine how the results of this study will impact economically and politically on our Hispanic community here in Chicago. Raimundo Flores, Senior Research Associate, and Graciela Koenig, Director of Communications for the Latino Institute, are here to explain the results of the study. According to the census figures, and it's been going on since 1980, the Latino community has been growing by leaps and bounds. To what do we attribute this phenomenon?
Well, in part, the growth has been immigration, and in part, the growth has had to do with the fact that the Latino population is a young population, and that there is higher fertility in the Latino population. Not only we're all young, but at a childbearing age, but Latinos tend to have more children than non-Latinos.
The immigration, the age factor, and now Central America. Does Central America, the migration from those countries who are facing struggles, I guess,
Definitely.
struggles.
We've been observing, not only in Chicago, but throughout the nation, that immigration coming from Latin American countries, particularly from Central America, has been greater in the last 10 years. And most of that is due to the unrest, the political unrest in Central America.
Now, your study, Latino Perspectives for 1990, addressed the statistics and projections. What was the projected growth for 1985 to year 2030 for our community?
In our report, we just provide an estimate of the Hispanic population from 1980 to 1990. And we anticipate that there will be 46% growth over the figure of 1980, which was 423,000 people of Latino descent.
So we're talking 46%, you're saying?
46%, so we estimate that for by 1990, there will be 615,000 individuals of Latino descent in the city of Chicago.
Now, I'm sure there's somebody sitting out there saying, wait a minute, how do you figure this out? I mean, how do you come up with these figures?
In order to arrive to that figure, first of all, we base our estimates on census data from the 1980, and also is a study done by the city or by the Department of Planning of the city government. And what we did in this report is just to see where that changes were occurring. So really, the estimate is, a combination of both. The estimate by the base of the 1980 by the census and the figure provided by the Department of Planning, and then we use a mathematical model using computers.
So you use a formula that sort of gives you a linear or a progressive...
A linear regression.
Okay.
We use the enrollment data from the Board of Education in the schools, and from that we derive these results.
Okay, now, before, I guess in the 60s, we talked about how important to have the data. The census went out and did a good census. We criticized because they undercounted 25 created as a result of the population growth.
I would say that there will be about 15 communities, areas.
15?
15, which will have more than 10,000 Hispanics.
That's quite a bit.
Right.
That's quite a bit of growth. What happens? Now, we mentioned that some groups move because of employment. What are the other kind of things that make people shift this way, besides the numbers?
Well, he mentioned, for example, Pilsen has saturated. There's nowhere to go. Yeah. When we talk about large families, housing is an important factor. And when you mentioned South Chicago earlier, although it is true that it has lost and it will continue to lose some of its Hispanic population, the interesting thing is that many of the Hispanics who live there, it is one of the oldest Hispanic communities, they are still clinging to their area. They own their homes. They may work elsewhere, but they're staying. And in South Chicago, you do see something like 40 small businesses owned by Latinos who have stayed. They found other ways of staying.
Yeah. What we mentioned earlier about the creations of wards as a result of the increase in population. What kinds of problems are we going to be facing? Is it required that when there's an increase of population that wards be created? We'll address this question and the political implication of this growth when we come back. Don't go away.
You know, the date's expired on this, don't you?
Well, it was cheaper.
Well, it's delicious. Hey, here's one made out to the sexiest woman alive.
Oh, it's for me?
You can pour my eggnog anytime, Peg.
From all of us on Married with Children, Happy New Year!
Where'd they come from?
On the next Family Ties.
I can't help feeling maternal. I'm a father.
Bringing up baby has the Keatons wondering if they're coming or going.
Police!
There's no time for romance and no rest for the weary.
I slept fine from 3 to 3:15, otherwise I'd be grumpy.
But with a little luck, together they can learn to cope.
Whoa!
I think I was somebody else.
No, I knew it was you.
Coming up next time on Family Ties.
Tonight at 6:30 on Fox 32.
As of May 5th, illegal aliens who arrived before January 82 will have 1 full year to apply for legal status. If you think you qualify, there will be churches and community organizations authorized by the INS to help you at little or no cost. So don't listen to rumors. Don't make hasty decisions. And don't be afraid to come forward. If you qualify, you will have the chance for legal status.
Welcome back. I'm Carmelo Melendez, and this is Esta Samana. We're continuing our focus on the results of a study conducted by the Latino Institute on the dramatic changes of the Hispanic population here in Chicago and the implication for the future. Raimundo Flores and Graciela Koenig from the Latino Institute are here to clarify these changes. Now, we've indicated that the increase in population and the estimates between now and 1990 are going to create or indicate a creation of new wards. Do you think that, how many wards do you think that we'll have to have by that time?
We consider that the Latino population will be representing 20% of the total population. That is 1/5 of the total. And that should be reflected in the representation in City Hall. So one-fifth of the 50 aldermen would be 10 Latino aldermen. Now, since we have to be realistic, we have to observe the concentration of the Latino population geographically and capitalize on that. So based on those patterns that we're anticipating, we see that it would be possible to claim another 3 wards aside of the 4 that we already have.
An additional 3 wards.
An additional 3 wards. So that would be a total of 7 wards by 1990.
By 1990. Now, I recall the last time we tried to change those boundaries, and it was a difficult task. Do you foresee that to be a problem?
Most likely, since the gaining of representation would be affecting other people's representation, IMI, and that other groups will be opposing. And that's correct. I think the Latino businessmen can capitalize on this growth. I think they are the ones that know the idiosyncrasies of the Hispanic community, and they are more accessible to the potential buyers, as opposed to other companies. And we see right now that just by looking at the number of advertising agencies that are growing very rapidly in the city, that the Latino businessmen do not act promptly, the market is going to be absorbed by the major U.S. corporations.
How can people get a copy of this report?
Well, they can call the Latino Institute at 663-3603, and they can request a copy.
And you will send them one?
Yes.
Great. The Latino Institute, where is it located at?
The Latino Institute is at 228 South Wabash, 6th floor, Chicago, 60604.
Raimundo and Graciela, thank you very much. Excellent work. Excellent work. Keep it up. And let's see if we can use it now for the future.
Thank you.
The Hispanic Organization for Legal Advancement will have a profile of this organization when we come back.
It's incredible.
It's unbelievable.
Great idea.
Are you wondering where the good times are?
Don't touch that dial.
Looking for action and thrills?
We're willing to pay a pretty penny for it.
Want to know who's cool?
Bingo, bango, bing.
And who's not?
Mr. Eugene Bluberman.
Check out the Saturday Boys of Fox and check out the fun.
Oh, cool.
The new adventures of Beans Baxter and Second Chance, the Saturday Boys of Fox.
To every empty nester who still feels they've got more love to give, and to every couple who still has love to share, this offer is for you. 1 free kid. Because what you can do for a kid is priceless. Just call 1-800-624-KIDS. With an offer like this, they won't be hanging around long.
Welcome back. A decade ago, there were only a handful of law students and practicing Hispanic lawyers. Today, we have a greater number, in part because of the activities and the efforts by an organization such as HOLA, Hispanic Organization for the Legal Advancement. Jorge Montez
coming
sounds
up,
good.
which will bring in parents to look at law school.
Is it important for the parent to get involved too?
Oh, definitely.
Indispensable.
Because, you know, your parents are trying to understand what's happening to the student. A law student changes very much.
In what way?
In what way? For example, we were speaking about this before. Before, your parents could say, could you give me that thing? And now you start to become more, well, what thing are you talking about? You know,
be specific.
Be specific. And it gets
on the nerves.
People's nerves.
Gets on their nerves.
Finals, the whole final experience.
Reclusive, totally
right.
Just hide. They're not sure why you're doing it or why you're being so antisocial, and that's just not the thing.
It's a survival thing.
It demands that time from you.
How do we get a hold of you, your organization, if someone, you've struck a little motivation nerve?
They can write directly to the school and
Loyola University
at Juanice Pearson.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they always give us our correspondence. They have a cylindrical thing in the school where they tack up all of our messages, all of our correspondence, and they're really good.
You will get the messages.
Yes,
that's correct.
They give us the messages.
Great. I appreciate you coming down, and good
you
luck to you on your tests and your results.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Marisa, you have what, another
year and a half to go.
Year and a half to go. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Stay with us. We're going to give you some tips on how to take care of that Christmas plant when we come back.
On the next Dr. Science, go far into the mysterious world, to the outer reaches of
Kitty litter?
Red licorice?
Velcro and the brain. Yes, it's me, Dr. Science, world-famous expert on
nothing.
And you won't find this kind of information in school.
We're on the verge of a minor miracle.
Dr. Science, don't let the name fool you.
Today at 4 on Fox 32.
This is Cheryl Ladd for Child Help USA. Almost 2 million cases of child abuse were reported in the United States last year. 80% of our country's prison inmates were abused when they were children. These are pretty terrifying statistics. Won't you please do your part in helping break this tragic cycle of violence? If you need help, or you know someone who does, please call Child Help's National Child Abuse Hotline, toll-free, 1-800-4-A-CHILD.
Most of us have either received a poinsettia plant as a gift or bought one for the holidays. Now, my plant usually, after the holidays, it dies several months later. And I've wondered, why can't we keep these plants alive at least until the next holiday? Then I won't have to buy one. Greg Stack, horticulturist with the Cooperative Extension Service at the University of Illinois, is here to give us some tips on how to take care of that plant. And maybe, Greg, I can have a plant for next year.
There's no reason why you can't.
Oh, good.
I can do it.
Great. Then you're saying that it's possible to save those plants.
Sure. I think folks can oftentimes take care of the plant that they've received as a gift or bought and maintain it and make it look nice, and then care for it in such a fashion that they can perhaps get the same plant to flower for next year.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Now, what is the most common mistake that people make with a plant like this now? I've heard all kinds of different things. Well, if you cover it at night and take the cover off in the morning, you'll have it the next year.
Well, see, a poinsettia is one of those kind of plants that has a specific lighting requirement. It's a short day plant. Okay? I mean a short day plant, long night plant.
Long night plant.
And what that means is that it has to have at least 12 to 14 hours of continuous total darkness before it's going to maintain this nice red, white, or pink color, whichever one you like.
That's not really common, isn't it? I mean, most of the time when I think of plants, it needs sunlight. Well, let's put the plant here because we want to get some sunlight.
It needs sun to grow, but it needs darkness to initiate the flower, see? And poinsettia, because of the fact that it's traditionally a Christmas-orientated plant, as you well know, as we come into the fall, winter season, the days become very, very short, nights become very, very long, and that's what initiates the natural flowering of the plant. And growers can sometimes manipulate this thing.
Now, poinsettias, I noticed that you have a white one, you have a red one. I love those red ones, but the white ones are pretty. What determines the color?
I think, well, just breeding is what it is. So you've got white, you've got red, you've got pink. There are now some very, very nice marbled ones where they're red and white or pink and white. They're very, very attractive. So if a person can really get a nice variety or assortment of colors and maybe just to fit their decor or whatever they happen to like. Sure.
Okay, now tell me, what is the secret? What do I have to do so that I'll have a poinsettia next year and I won't have to buy one?
No big secret.
No,
we'll let you know all the secrets right now.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing folks have to realize is that the plant that they do buy or receive as a gift is grown for a specific reason, basically for the holidays, for color. And they can do one or two things with this thing. They can either enjoy it for that particular period in time and then discard, or if they want to become a amateur horticulturist, they can take this thing and grow it on and save it for next year and reflower it and amaze all their friends. So we can do this thing. And the thing I think you have to realize is that poinsettia is not all that tricky. I think the first thing a person should realize is that a poinsettia likes to have temperatures about 65 to 70 degrees. So if they can locate it in their homes, in the cooler part of their home, you'll maintain good colors on the flowers, you'll maintain a good plant service at 17500 Oak Park Avenue, Suite 206 in Tinley Park, Illinois, 60477. And request just poinsettia information. And we can send them information on how to take care of the thing for the holidays, as well as after holiday care and reblooming care.
What about a phone number for the extension
Our phone number out there is 532-4369. And like I say, we're available to answer questions on gardening and horticulture in general for most anybody.
Well, I'm going to try it, Greg.
Give it a try. It's very, very easy.
Try it. And maybe next year we'll bring you back and I'll bring my plant.
Matter of fact, I'm going to leave that with you and I'll be back here next year to see if you reflowered that one.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. And thanks again.
Okay.
If you want that information, write to the Cooperative Extension at the University of Illinois and they'll give you all that. Recycling the Christmas spirit. We'll get into that after these messages.
Merry Christmas, Chicago.
Feliz Navidad y un próspero Año Nuevo.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Season's greetings, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Hi, I'm Chris Long. We hope this holiday season is a happy and peaceful one for you. And join us weeknights at 9 on Fox 32 News.
And now a word from the American Lung Association. Your lungs are an incredible piece of machinery, but your lungs are also incredibly delicate. Diseases of the lung are among the most frequent causes of suffering, disability, and death in the United States. Lung cancer is now the #1 cancer killer in America among both men and women. Chronic bronchitis and emphysema are marked by chronic obstruction to the airflow. Among chronic diseases, asthma is the leading cause of school absenteeism. Yes, TB is still with us. In the past year, over 22,000 Americans have contracted TB. Lung trouble can come from the air you breathe at work, but thanks to the American Lung Association, you can breathe a little easier. They're working to fight all this lung disease. Your lungs are a miracle. Take care of your lungs. They're only human. And if my lungs weren't in great shape, I couldn't have said all this. The American Lung Association. The Christmas seal people.
Tonight, take 2 looks behind closed doors. First, running the country's a snap, but life at home is a presidential nightmare.
What you did was indefensible, it was unconscionable, it was reprehensible.
Shame on me.
George C. Scott and Madeline Kahn in Mr. President. Then serve some time with women in prison.
That was the meanest mother in the prison. That woman has children.
Tonight, starting at 7 on Fox 32.
Recycling the Christmas spirit is the battle cry of the coalition of community groups and city agencies, hoping to recycle thousands of Christmas trees instead of sending them to overflowing landfills.
Sunday, the nightmare begins when the pentagram appears. John York is werewolf.
On Fox 32, Chicago. .32 This Week, a Fox 32 Public Affairs presentation. And now, here's your host, Wanda Wells.
20 years ago, the Chicago Council of Lawyers
came into existence, and during this broadcast, we'll find out what this legal body is doing to police themselves. Some of us believe that staying crime-free is sometimes easier said than done. But according to Waukegan Chief of Police Ron Horry, there are ways to achieve it, and he'll join me later with some specifics. There are an estimated 100,000 displaced homemakers here in Illinois, from all income levels and educational backgrounds. And coming up, we'll tell you about a program that's in place, specifically designed for them. Also coming up, we'll tell you about 2 public elementary schools here in Chicago who are planning trips to faraway places. And Peggy Montez, Executive Director of the Mayor's Commission on Women's Affairs, will spend some time with us, sharing her status report. But as always, before we share our first story with you, here are a few messages.
You know it as a Disney classic.
We dubbed the Lovers.
The silly professor who just puttied around is back. And the whole town's gone topsy-turvy over what's in the palm of his hand.
Flubber.
Lover.
Now in color. This movie's really got more bounce to the ounce.
Nothing to it, Mr. Hawk.
It's Fred McMurray as the absent-minded professor.
Monday night at 7 on Movie 32.
The turn of the century. Orville Wright pilots the first successful airplane and changes the world forever.
Listen, Tranquility Base here.
66 years later,
The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility.
today, a revolutionary airship called High Star does what no other aircraft has ever done before. See it in flight at the Museum of Science and Industry. Who knows, the world may never be the same.
Attorneys Frederick J. Sperling and Barry Miller are both representing the Chicago Council of Lawyers. Now, more specifically, Mr. Sperling is the president. Mr. Miller is the council's chairman of the subcommittee on the Code of Professional Responsibility. They're here this morning for some conversation about strengthening their Code of Professional Responsibility. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to 32 This Week. Now, in the wake of the Greylord investigation, you gentlemen want the Responsibility Code to be strengthened. I got 3 questions for you. 1, why? Number 2, what's wrong with the old laws? And number 3, what is it that you're doing to bring it more into focus? Who wants to go first? Of course, the president, right?
I think one of the clearest things that came out of Operation Greylord, in which now over 50 attorneys and judges have been convicted of crimes of serious misconduct, is that there's a need for stricter disciplinary standards. The legal profession has a unique system of regulation in Illinois. It's given the opportunity to regulate itself, and that's quite a privilege. We think with that privilege goes a strong responsibility for self-regulation, and frankly, the legal profession hasn't done a very good job at that. In large part, I think the public can justifiably wonder why the legal profession hasn't insisted on stricter standards and on stricter discipline against attorneys who violate those standards.
Okay, what are the standards right now? What are we talking about in terms of Code of Responsibility, Code of
Illinois
Regulation?
has a Code of Professional Responsibility, and the Supreme Court is now considering a new code that would replace it. Instead of adopting the model rules that have been adopted by the American Bar Association, and at this point about half the states, Illinois is trying to adopt a new code that in many ways we think isn't as satisfactory in ensuring that attorneys will be subject to the level of discipline.
All right, give us a couple of examples so that we know where we're going.
Well, one example of a problem that's in the proposed Illinois code is that attorneys would not be required to report all ethical